Okay, so I know that you took a deep dive into studying the brain because you needed to as a mom. So tell us about that.
So before becoming a mom, I am a board certified behavior analyst. So I did a bunch of clinical work and research with individuals with special needs of all sorts, like autism, schizophrenia, bipolar, ADHD, seizure disorders, all of that stuff. I do see. That's a great picture. Which I love, period. But I see this is Kalani's picture. But I see God's mercy in all of that because our daughter Livy is on the autism spectrum, and so yes, I love that. Started off as a professional in it, and then have become a mom that's living it. And what's been great is just carrying that knowledge in with me. Okay, hey girls, listen. We're gonna pretend like we're at church, so we need to use our whisper voice.
Karen, that's amazing. I mean, you can totally see God's providence in the fact that you totally had the education, and then God's like, I have a special gift for you.
Yeah.
And you're not only going to help your daughter, but you're going to help a lot of other women too. And I love watching you do that. Your plate is so full, but your heart is so big. And somehow you make room to help other women on this journey. And it's beautiful to watch. It feels scary and complicated and overwhelming. What you're dealing with the brain is not what I have dealt with personally. I have dealt with in our family different forms of dementia or brain degeneration, which is also scary.
Yeah.
But it made me just want to learn more, about how can we support the brain? How can we protect ourselves against it getting worse? Can we make it stronger? I started asking these questions.
Which is so important, not only asking those questions, but helping others, because I think our culture has a lot to say about anything brain related, and a lot of it is not true, and a lot of it is not life-giving. So rewriting the narrative and also learning that you can support and feeling empowered to support things like autism is not a dirty word in our house. Like Libby knows she's autistic. Lonnie shares that she's autistic. This is another picture back to Lonnie Grace. There you go, baby. It has been shared. So it's just so important to have these conversations and help other people, because it's one thing to get a diagnosis. It's another thing to have the world tell you everything that diagnosis is, which typically is negative and limitation. It's not potential. You keep those over there, okay, baby?
Sorry, I was, but you see the potential, and you have experienced some very positive things. I mean, the journey is hard. Let's not sugarcoat it. It's not like, I know some days are easier than others, but you have experienced so many happy moments and positive improvements that you speak out. So would you say that lifestyle, diet, exercise, supplements, oils, I mean, like, where do you start as a mom, like with somebody who doesn't know anything? What is your counsel?
I always start with listening, because a lot of times, especially, I think this is true for all moms. Give me 1 minute, please. Mommy's talking. This is true for all moms, but especially in the autism community, you're just like flooded with info. So a lot of times I listen and I try to just pick one piece of the puzzle that seems to be the most crucial at the time. A lot of times it's all brain related, but it's sleep, it's diet, it's sleep is a big one. Honestly, I hear that one the most. Because the thing about our brains is God designed them so perfectly, doesn't make mistakes, that they're telling us something. We just have to learn how to listen to the alarm bells going off in our brain, because it's all connected to the rest of our body. And so when someone's coming to me needing advice, like, we just pick one puzzle piece at a time, but they all point back to the brain, honestly. So, which is why I love oil support, because it supports everything, including our brain.
Yes. Okay. So when you say you listen, are you specifically saying that you listen to them talk, or you're listening for signals in the body? Like, clarify that.
A lot of times I love to just listen to mamas talk. Hey girls.
Okay. Yeah, to hear. And sleep is a big thing. I know. I mean, I'm a kind of a crazy mama without enough sleep.
Well, and I think too, we get so caught up in like the face value of something. So what I mean by that is I tend to hear what wears mamas out the most are certain behaviors like hitting or screaming, you know, the whole gamut. The issue when we stop there is, and this is the same issue doctors face right now, is you can't just look at symptoms. You have to look at the cause. So with behavior, it's all communication. There's always a cause behind it. And this brain is trying to tell us something through that behavior, that it's needing something. So for example, specifically speaking to autism, a lot of times what comes with autism is an issue with diet, because the way that their brains tend to perceive food, they're more sensitive to texture, smell, things touching, all of it. So the diet's pretty restricted. And so one of the puzzle pieces I like to tackle is like, how do you get brain health, like good nutrient food that is nutrient dense food that's good for the brain into a child who doesn't eat, right? Yeah, I see that.
So how are you doing it?
So Young Living is literally the only company that all of their products Libby will consume, like
Amazing.
all the time. So Nisha is our lifesaver. That is the only way I can guarantee that her body is getting what it needs, because food wise, she's very restrictive. Currently, we haven't yet learned to add new foods. We were working on it. So Nisha has carried us a long way, to be honest. And all of my kids love it, and
that's great. Yeah, it's hard. And food, I mean, I know that that's true with autistic children. You know, I know that they're sensitive to gluten, and their diet is super important. But sugar, I mean, for any brain issue, is just so destructive. I know that a steady diet of sugar can lead to even people acting schizophrenic, you know. It's just, and that's one of the things that speaking of Ningxia, love about Ningxia, the fact that it does balance the blood sugar and helps with that. So that's good to know. I'm curious, can Libby have the einkorn cereal?
Not yet. You're gonna hear me say that word a lot. That's my favorite word. I never say no, because it's something we're working on. She has a harder time with crunchy textures, so we're working on kind of desensitizing to that with non-food items. She has a chewy and all of that, but crunchy with food doesn't mix.
I got it. So there's that texture thing. Okay, it's not the chromosome in the einkorn, it's the texture. That's what you're saying. That's good to know. Okay, so food, and so let's just touch on some brain foods that you would like to see Libby eat. I know avocado. Is that a weird texture for her?
It is
soft. Walnuts, too crunchy.
Yeah.
So basically everything needs to be pretty smooth liquid and taste like Nisha.
So pretty much anything I get into her is either in pouch or smoothie form.
Okay.
But it's still getting into her, so it's fine. Not a big deal.
So you need salmon in a pouch. Little salmon. Little wild salmon in a pouch for Libby.
What I love is Nisha is the one food that she calls it red juice, that she will request every time.
Beautiful.
And this is the girl, which is powerful. People don't know her, so they won't understand this. But this is my girl who doesn't like to eat. She doesn't like to drink. She's been hospitalized before simply for IVs because she just won't take anything. So when she asks for something, it is gold.
Which is very serious. Yeah.
Yeah. And so she'll just go to the closet and be like, red juice. I'm like,
wow.
All right. So you know it's good.
Thank you, Young Living, because it's not just Ningxia, but it's the oils, which do so many things for the kids or for all of us. So that's amazing. Okay. So I, by any means, don't want to compare anyone to Libby. I'm not I'm not doing that here, but I have a daughter, Ella, she's my youngest. She just turned 8. And she has just really struggled with some learning, like some reading and writing. That type of academic behavior is not going, like she wants it to. And adjusting her diet and putting oils on her brainstem have made a big impact. One of the, well, let's just talk about that. I think you have used some oils on, are you putting them on the brainstem?
I am actually just did. With Libby, I love the Reconnect Kit. So I have them in little rainbow rollers.
Okay.
She loves those rainbows, but these are the Reconnect Kit oils. We use those daily. And the really cool thing about them is I didn't tell any of her therapists that we were going to be using them.
Okay.
And what was so fun was all of a sudden they're like, this is the most focused we've ever seen her. Or Libby did something totally cool today and didn't melt down about it. Like they saw the difference, even though I didn't tell them anything, which as a research nerd, I'm like, yes, I didn't give them any bias. Like, here we go. So we use those oils all the time. My other favorite, which I'm going to use right now because I love it, is the Kid Power.
I love that one too.
And like you, I like to put it right here. This one though, we use.
You did not get that.
Here, you want to put this one on? Give it a good smell.
Where did it go?
So you have them smell the oil and then put it on. Is she putting it on the back of her neck right now or on her what?
Can I do
Lonnie likes to put this one on her wrist. Sure, go ahead. Here, I'll show you. And now Libby's gonna do it.
Hi, Libby.
So when we're in happy moods, they like to just put it on their wrists and smell it. You can give it a good smell. Sorry, they're kind of. There you go. She got a little good smell. Meltdowns though, I use this on the back of her, on her brain.
Okay, that's cool.
And she smells it. But this one, this is what I love with oils meeting science, which I think it's so funny. People think it's so separate, but there's so much science behind this. But when she's in meltdown mode, hang on one second, baby. The only way to help her get out of it is to access her limbic brain, right? Like social cues gone, like we're in fight or flight, freeze or collapse mode. And the best way to do that is through smell. And so honestly, we use this all the time and she'll ask for it. I'll point to it. She doesn't have words when she's that upset.
Yeah.
But I'll just smell it and I'll rub it on her and I'll pray over her. And you can see her body alarm system start to like come down. But it's the only way I can access her in those moments because verbal piece is gone.
How old is she?
She's 4.
Okay. That's amazing. That's really impressive. It is impressive. I've heard you say that you also use brain power. Is that part of the Reconnect Kit?
Brain power, no. Reconnect has Reconnect, In Touch, Genius, and Sleep.
Okay.
Sleep. Yeah.
You're using Reconnect oils all day. When are you using brain power and why?
I typically use that anytime her brain needs extra power. Thank you, Young Living, for the great name. But knowing with all of my kids, but Libby especially, like knowing in advance when her brain needs some extra help processing something. When I use it. So like before therapy, Richard travels a lot. So any big transition, I know she's gonna put him back. Any big transition, we like to use that. But anytime I need her brain to get a little extra boost to work together, or if I notice her diet suffering, because again, transitions, she'll stop eating. I'll give it a boost there too. And it's so helpful.
Okay. I took Ella to a functional medicine doctor to just see, like, what am I missing? Because I'm pretty crunchy. I understand food and diet, that's what my degree's in. And I've used oils forever, like I feel like I'm missing a piece. I need a second opinion and all that. And one of the things the functional medicine doctor said was to apply certain oils to the back of Ella's neck every night before bed. And we have been doing that regularly, and she asks for it and she sees a difference, and I know that it works. So I just think that's so cool. And it's just a tool. It's a little tip that every mom needs to know about. Just get your oils. I don't care if you think it's the right oil or not, put it on the back of the neck because it's going to support,
Well, and with that, Terry, you just said something so key. Oils are not separate from eating healthy and working out. If you only eat a carrot and then eat donuts the rest of the day, you're still going to feel like poop. Same with oils. If you only use them like once in a blue moon, you're not going to get the benefits that they were created for. And I'm even going to tell on myself here. This like holiday season, got a little sparse with my routine and started eating more sugar, like happens during the holidays, and my whole body felt it. And I actually went to the ER several times because my eyelids were swollen, like my whole body was just like, because it needs that constant support. But what is so sad for me is I hear a lot of mamas will say, oh, well, I tried that. It's like, okay, well, you used it once or twice. Like, that's not trying it.
Talk to somebody, because I knew that I was doing the right things with Ella, but it turned out I wasn't doing them enough. I wasn't doing them in bulk, it was do more, like you said, I was just being sparse because it's.
And before sleep is so crucial too, because that's when the brain starts kind of reorganizing what it just went through during the day. So if you have a kiddo who has a harder time with focusing, like you have to give their brain extra support when it's reorganizing and kind of.
I can't focus if I haven't slept. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want me to do anything for you. If I haven't slept enough, I will lose everything.
And the hard part is parents might say like, oh, well, my kid is sleeping, but how are they sleeping? Because the overstimulated mind is still not restfully sleeping. Like they might have their eyes closed, but they're probably not ever reaching deep sleep, which they need.
That's why I love Unwind so much. I don't know if you've tried that supplement yet, but that's
another thing Libby will consume again, which is why I'm like, okay, there's magic behind this because she won't take anything.
Will she take Mind-Wise?
We haven't gotten her yet. Haven't tried that one yet, but Unwind she loves. I know. Oh, you want the oils in a certain way.
Something else that the functional medicine doctor put on Ella's protocol and actually said for the rest of her life, like that's typed up on her paper with her genetic testing and all of the things that we're supposed to do for her, is exercise 45 minutes a day, 6 days a week. And Dr. Purser backed that up. I was listening to one of his podcasts with that reduces dementia by 90%. So how do you, I know that getting the serotonin and hormones flowing through the brain helps support a healthy brain. How do you do that for a child like Libby?
That's the one, I won't say one. Hey, Ellie, this is too loud. Hang on just a minute. I won't say it's the one area of autism that's easier because I think there's a lot of areas of autism that are beautiful, but that is one where we don't have to worry because she doesn't stop moving.
Okay.
It's probably the most she'll sit today because we have colors. We have sensory swings. We have a trampoline. I'm building a rock wall in their game room, like
That's awesome.
constantly moving. And so thankfully that's the one area we're like, all right, check.
Won't have to worry about putting it on the to-do list. That's good.
But I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people clinically when I was working, they would say something like, my 6-year-old won't sit through school. I said, okay, well, I'm a grown adult. I don't actually like to sit that long. Like give them a bouncy ball, take the wheels off a bike and let them pedal at their desk. But like the body, there's the other side of it where the body needs movement to focus. And that's a super easy thing to adapt to. And so with that particular area of needing brain support, if your child's not focusing, definitely apply oils, but also let them fidget if they need to move. Like that might be part of what's blocking them.
So when my oldest son was in college, and we're not foreign to learning challenges. So When he was in college, I sent him that kinetic sand. I was like, I know you're going to need this. So I'm like, he's a college student with sand on his desk because I knew he's going to do better in school if he has something to do with his hands. For the girls at our office, our dental practice, my husband's totally fine with not the dental hygienist, but the girls at the desk sitting on balls, like you said, just bouncy balls, because we all focus better and can retain better if we're just like, so that's a great tip. Okay, so we're coming to the end of our half hour. I want people to know where to find you. So Sharon is on Instagram. She's on Facebook. On Facebook, she has a group called Special Hearts, which is so special. It's for her team. She educates on how to use oils and supplements for just all the things. And she's an amazing, amazing woman, wife, friend, mom, and you want to know Sharon. So those are the places to find her. Thank you for hopping on and chatting.
Yeah, I have myself on mute because we're having a hard time, but I did want to show you. This is my other favorite fidget for Livy, just while we're talking about these things. I don't know if your kids have tried these.
Yeah, no, we have one in our house. I'm the one that likes to sit around and pop it. I'm like, I don't know what this is for, but I'm just gonna sit here and pop it. That's cool. That's neat. Yeah. Y'all lasted a long time. So I appreciate you carving some time out of your very busy, hectic day to share with us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, you're going to go put it on and you don't even have to get off mute. I totally understand. I love you so much, Sharon. So, okay, everybody. Thanks for popping on. We'll see y'all later.